Andy, this is it.
Yeah, last tournament. Looking forward to it.
I mean, I felt like when I was listening to you a few weeks ago, you were still kind of umming and ahhing and not sure which tournament was going to be your last one. What made this the last event?
Well, yeah, I mean, I'd spoken to my team last year about finishing this year. I've spoken to my family about that as well, but still until probably 2-3 months ago, I wasn't really that happy about it. I was unsure of whether it was the right time, and I still felt like I wanted to keep going. And then when I had the problem with my back at Queen's and the surgery, I knew that I wanted to finish because just my body was telling me it was time, and physically it's been it has been hard the last few years. So I knew when I had the operation, I was told I wasn't going to be able to play the Olympics or Wimbledon.
I saw the picture of the scab on your back. It was brutal.
Yeah, I mean, it looked worse than what it looked worse than what it was, and the surgeons did a brilliant job, but it wasn't pretty.
I felt like the first time I said I was going to retire out loud, it kind of brought me a lot of peace, whereas in the lead up beforehand, there was always some hope, I guess. And so I guess once you said it out loud, were you like, I'm at peace with it now?
Yeah, I mean, I'd spoken about it earlier in the year, actually, in Miami, and that this was going to be my last year on the tour, and that I had no plans on playing past this summer. I didn't know exactly which tournament it was going to be, but that has been my plan the whole year. And then, but like I said, I still wasn't that happy about it. But now I feel good. I know this is going to be my last event. I think it's the right time, and I'm certain about it now, and I'm glad I sort of took my time over it and didn't rush into anything, and I feel really comfortable with it.
Is it the fact that you're on a beach in Greece and you're like, this is a bit all right, actually?
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to that side of things, and just relaxing, and being with my family, getting a chance to. We never took that many holidays whilst I was playing. I always wanted to be at home, but obviously I get to spend lots of the time at home now, and get to go away with the family as much as I can. And I'm looking forward to that side of things. I'm looking forward to playing more golf, and just relaxing for a period before I decide what I want to do next.
What's the handicap at the moment?
My handicap has lapsed because I haven't played. First round of golf I played was about 2 weeks ago in the last 6 years, so it was 6, but I've handed my first card in, and you need to hand 3 in before you get your
already getting
handicap.
Defensive. It's okay.
Yeah.
And you had that lovely moment on centre court, the ceremony, everything about it I thought was perfect. So after that, what made you want to come back a couple of weeks later for some doubles with Dan Evans? And was being the 5-time Olympian a big part of that?
Well, it'd always been in my plan to play at the Olympics. To be honest, I didn't know if I was going to get that chance, obviously because of the operation, the surgery, and but I've been training to try and come back to play the singles as well. I was training over in Greece and playing singles sets and points and everything, and body wasn't reacting like I needed it to. But I wanted to come here and compete for GB again. I've loved doing that over the years. I had some amazing memories, and I'm pumped to get to do it one last time. And I think me and Dan are a good team, and hope we can have a good run.
And 5-time Olympians is quite a select group. When you think about the names on there, it's like Alison Felix, Venus Williams, Michael Phelps, and now you're in that group. So that must feel pretty special, no?
Yeah, it is. I mean, it obviously shows you've had, a long career, and to have stayed, near the top of the game for that period is, it's been hard, but so worth it. And I've been really lucky as well. I think, athletes don't always acknowledge that side of things, but you need a lot of luck to be able to hang around for that long. And there's been some amazing athletes that have played 5, 6, competed in 5, 6 Olympics, and glad, like I said, to get to do it one more time.
And does this bring back so many memories for you, with it being at Roland Garros, at a slam, in many ways similar to Wimbledon, where you recognise the venue so well, but it's totally different atmosphere?
Yeah, it's really different. Like, it's amazing how just the sort of change in the colours of the background can affect the feel of the place. But yeah, obviously really familiar with Roland Garros and being in Paris. But yeah, the Olympics does bring definitely a different atmosphere. I mean, we experienced that in London. It was not like how Wimbledon usually is. It was a very different feel, and yeah, I love that, and I hope that all the French people come out and support and create a brilliant atmosphere there.
Well, you sent me a picture the other day. Where was this picture, by the way? Was it in the team apartment of the two of us?
That was in the corridors at Roland Garros. They have kind of all of the tennis medalists kind of around the hallways there. So
I'm going to get it up, because you kind of crop the actual winners out, but it's quite a cute one. We look so young and we look so thrilled, even though we lost that day. But just the whole week was electric.
Yeah, it was amazing week. For sure. I know I don't always look it on the court. I do find competing very stressful. But that week...
But you looked so happy that week.
I really enjoyed the whole week. It was just, super. It is once in a lifetime to get to compete in an Olympics at home, and you knew you're never going to get that opportunity again. And yeah, certainly made the most of it, and was obviously, lucky to have won a couple of medals, and we're really close to getting gold in the mix as well.
And I remember sitting behind your mum for your singles final, and she was so clenched and so nervous, and yet everyone else was so calm, because it was like, I almost thought it was a guarantee that you were going to win that one, because you were playing so well. There was just an energy about it, and you must have felt that on court.
Yeah, I mean, I did feel good that whole week. I played, I felt like I was playing really, really well. I wasn't certainly wasn't sure that I was going to win the final against Federer, but it was one of the best matches that I've ever played, to be honest. Everything just seemed to click that week, and I don't know why that was the case, but wish I could have played like that more often.
Are you happy though that your mum doesn't have to go through so much stress?
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the things that, like, when I watched the 2012 Wimbledon final, like the last game, it's not something when you're on the court, I'm not thinking about what anyone in your team or your family is feeling. You're just focused on that moment. But when you watch back the video of that final, and the cameras, when I'm losing the match points, are going up to your team and your family and everything, you can see, like, how difficult that is, and
and they're trying not to let it show as well.
Yeah, it's it's tough. It's tough to watch that, and I know and now appreciate that a little bit. When I watch my own kids doing things like trying to learn how to swim and stay, above the water and everything, you so want to just, help them in those moments, but it's not always the best to do that. They need to figure it out for themselves sometimes.
And you had another amazing Olympics moment with Jamie, playing together in London, but you'd kind of started your whole careers together, and then a few weeks ago almost ended it together in a way. That must have been so special.
Yeah, it was brilliant.
The hug made me cry a little bit.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Jamie's not as much of a hugger as me usually, but it was special. I was so, like, reflecting back on that, like, a few weeks later or even days later, when I was talking to my family and everything about it, it was just perfect that I got to finish playing at Wimbledon, on centre court with my brother. We never did that in our whole careers, and it was great to do that, one more time with him. And it's funny because you always, I don't know, athletes probably always want like a perfect ending and want that to finish on winning a tournament or having a great run somewhere, and they're the things that you think about. But even though we lost that day, the fact that we got to get out there and play on centre court and with all of our friends and family around was brilliant.
And the team environment at the moment seems really good. You're sharing an apartment with how many people? 4? It's just Jack on his own, isn't it?
Yeah, the youngster got got booted.
Pulled out of a
on his
hat, though,
own.
I heard.
Pulled out of a hat, yeah.
Did you not want your own apartment, though? 2
No,
gold medals. You're like, surely I deserve that.
No, we want. Well, no, we all got asked if you wanted to stay in. You know, there was one single apartment or single room, and everyone turned it down. So then.
But why?
Or just, I guess, to be around everyone. Like in the evenings, we're playing games and going out hunting for pins and those sorts of things. And I don't know. We've all got our own room within the apartment. We're not all sharing.
But 2 bathrooms.
2 bathrooms. Yeah.
That's tough.
Do
you not feel a bit too old for this?
No. Well, yeah. Cam was saying it feels like being back in like college dorms and stuff. And I know some of the tennis players kind of stay outside of the village, but that for me is like been one of the things I've like enjoyed about it the most, is being in the village with all of the other athletes and getting to hang out with the tennis players who usually I spend time with them when I'm at tournaments, but not like it is here, and I enjoy that.
Have you been asking any other athletes for photos? I saw you asked Alcaraz for a photo, or are you being stopped more?
I've been stopped a little bit, but yeah, I haven't asked for too many photos. I mean, we did the photos with the team at the Olympic rings last night, and yeah, we've just been. I mean, I know you were into it in London, but like it's a bit geeky, but I love the whole pin exchange.
You didn't get into it then, though.
Well, I wasn't in the village.
Neither was I. I made it work.
Oh, really? I thought you were staying in the village.
No.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, the last 2 I've done it. I've got like the full thing.
Best country?
Well, yesterday, so the game that I play is I want to get the most rare pins, and I got
that's
one.
that's how it works.
So I got one from Liechtenstein, who only have 1 athlete yesterday. So
nice.
I was happy with that. Yeah.
That is a bit nerdy, but no, I like it.
Yeah.
And I mean, looking ahead to this week with Dan, are there any expectations? I know you can obviously have a good run because the 2 of you are great at doubles, but is there a goal for the week other than getting a medal on the board?
Well, yeah, I mean, I think that's it, is to try and get a medal. I mean, I do believe we have a chance. I'm not saying we're the favourites to win the tournament or anything, but, Dan is, obviously a very, very good singles player, but his game works really well on the doubles court as well. He loves being up at the net. He's got great hands, great volleys. He's smart. So
when it's all said and done with Dan in the doubles, do you plan to hang around, try and watch some other sports?
So in Beijing, that I did that. I lost early, and I went and watched some of the boxing. I watched badminton there, and the hope is that I don't have time to do that. But I made it. If we weren't to do well, then I might stick around. Yeah. It felt kind of sad after London that we were watching the second week of the Olympics in a Cincinnati Whole Foods. Yeah. Like, it does feel like a bit of a come down, knowing that the tennis schedule is quite relentless. Yeah. So now you can actually do it. I don't have to worry about that now anymore, which is nice. Are you going to go big night out with Evo? Like, you must have some sort of big celebration planned. I could hang with him on a night out, really. What's the plan then? You need a celebration. Well, I have a plan, like, for when I get home. We've got a bunch of my team and friends are coming round. I think in some stage in the early August we're doing that, but I don't have any plans here. And is there one thing that you're looking forward to doing that you haven't been able to do? Like, is it eating as much chocolate as you want? Because I remember years and years ago, I was like, well, Andy, what do you do for fun? And you were like, core. Core? Yeah, you said core work, and I was like, oh, God. No, I'd say now, well, golf. I want to golf. I'd not played. I used to love playing golf, and I literally have barely played in the last 20 years. So that's what I want to do. Is that not going to wreck your hip again, though? It seems to be fine when I play. My back and my hip feel all right when I play, but I guess we'll find out. It depends how much I practice. If I get like obsessed with it, then maybe it'll be an issue. So do you feel like you are going to be pain-free? Because that would be surely the most important thing. Yeah, I mean, I think that, I don't know. I mean, a lot of the sort of 40-year-olds that I know are not exactly feeling like my fitness trainer, my physio are like in their early 40s and they don't feel amazing. So I'm not expecting to be pain-free, but I think when you're having to compete and train every single day, like despite the pain, it's quite, it's hard and it can be quite tiring. Whereas now, when I finish, if I'm uncomfortable or something sore, I don't have to go to the gym or go running or chase after a ball. I can put my feet up.
Chill.
Yeah.
And are the kids playing tennis at the moment? A few months ago, they weren't really that into it.
No, I mean, we played once on holiday. They decided they wanted to come and play when we were in Greece, so played with them then. They play a little bit of golf, swimming. They do all the sports at school, like netball and hockey, but not so much into the tennis.
Do you want them to? Because you love the game so much, there's no way that you're going to go cold turkey now.
I mean, if they want to play, I will definitely encourage them, but I've learned that if you do try to guide them in a certain direction, then that doesn't always make things more likely or better. So I'm allowing them to make their own choices.
And for you, do you feel like, maybe you don't know yet and you're giving it a few months, but if someone like Jack was like, can you help me out a bit, would you say yes?
It's a good question. I mean, it depends really, because initially I want to be at home. I don't want to travel. I want to spend time at home with my family and see my kids growing up and stuff. Because that's obviously something you miss when you're on the road. In the last few years, when I've been away for like 3-4 weeks at a time, I found that difficult. But look, obviously, with all of the British players, like when I'm at home, I'll try to help like whenever I can. If any of them wanted to, I would obviously try my best to, to make that, to make that happen. But I also know from experience and stuff is that, you see it a lot on the tour now that coaches come in and do 10-12 weeks and, come in just for the major events, and the bulk of the work is done away from that when you're doing the training blocks and the build up to the majors and stuff like that. And it's, it's a big commitment to coach if you want to do it properly. And I would want to make sure I did it properly. So I don't know.
Fingers crossed. I think you'd be great at it.
Oh, thank you.
I could see you doing like a mentorship role amongst all the juniors.
Yeah, I mean, I spent a bit of time with one of the young British juniors recently. He came to train with me when we were in Greece, and went along to watch one of his matches at the Wimbledon pre-qualies and stuff, and I really enjoyed that. It was fun. Like, I feel like also with juniors, like it's a bit, well, I was probably very stubborn, I still am, but when I was younger, like very stubborn, you think you know everything, like when you start on the tour and stuff. But I don't know, juniors are maybe a little bit easier to influence, maybe listen a little bit more than the players on the tour potentially.
And I remember a few years ago you said about another player who retired that they absolutely maximise their potential, and I always thought of it as like the best compliment you can give someone. So would you give yourself that compliment?
I mean, I don't know, because the way that my mind works, there's always things that I feel like I could have done better or should have done differently, and I have regrets. And if I could do it over again, then I would like that chance with the knowledge that I have now that maybe I would have done things better or differently. But I mean, I gave it a pretty good go. But yeah, there's things I probably could have done a bit better that maybe would have helped me. I would have been a bit smarter probably with the way that I trained as well. But
always a perfectionist.
I don't know. I mean, I got close, but I wouldn't say that. I think I probably could have done a bit better.
That's tough. And if there's one thing that you're most proud of, what would it be?
For tennis-wise?
Yeah. Well, it can be general.
I'll go with tennis-wise. That's probably a bit easier. I mean,
winning Wimbledon?
Yeah, I mean, winning Wimbledon probably is the thing that, for me personally, winning the gold medal, and obviously the silver in London for me would be, yeah, a big highlight for me. I mean, obviously Wimbledon and everything was amazing, but just the actual experience that I had that week and how I felt that week was, yeah, meant the most to me probably.
Should have been gold though.
Should have been, yeah.
Cheers. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck this week.
Thank you.
Well done.